also prepared some slides which are based on the knowledge from the United States. But I just want to, if you go to the contents page, I just start with the situation in Europe. First, we have to show what is our situation, which means gas production, demand, and secondly, what are the gas prices, and then we switch over what could unconventional gas resources change on that situation, how much could be the influence, first in volume, how much could it contribute, secondly, could it influence prices, and what would it mean in terms of how much drilling rigs would be needed and so on. So let's switch to the first part. And first, in most European countries, natural gas production is in decline since at least a decade. These are some smaller countries like Italy, Poland, and Germany. They had passed joint peak in the 80s already. Next slide, you see Denmark, which is one of the later comers. These are individual fields which are shown there. First in Denmark, we already had a peak around 2000. This is UK, where in 2000, when oil and gas prices were at a very low level, their production already peaked. And the individual areas gives the contribution from all individual fields which were connected each year. You see, it's each field and the sum up of fields gives a typical profile that you can ramp up production very fast, but you reach a peak soon, and as soon as you have reached the peak, the pressure declines and you cannot avoid that the production level declines year by year or even month by month. And in order to keep up, you have to add ever more and ever faster new fields, unless you can do it. When you cannot do that anymore, since the whole region goes into decline. And here is the only country in Europe which still has an increasing production. This is Norway. And here are the individual fields are marked. And the largest one is a Troll field. It's a dark area. And you see, as soon as the Troll field goes into decline, this will be so steep that no other of the smaller fields can compensate for that range. And I guess we will, the production will stay around or below 120 billion cubic meters per year for 1, 2, or 3 years and not much more. And then at latest around 2020, Norway will start to enter decline as well. So that's the situation in Europe. Maybe the last one is in Netherlands. This is not my data, it's from the official state companies, from the state organizations, the data. The largest field which contributes more than 50% to production comes from Groningen. It's a Groningen field. It's a yellow, it's a green area. And the smaller fields, which are the yellow fields and the dark greens below, they are already in decline. And the forecast of the government is that this decline will continue over the next 20 years. And at latest in 10 to 15 years, Netherlands will stop to export domestic gas because they need it by themselves. So in general, that's the same figure, plus in a broader range from 1960 on. So in a nutshell, in Europe, gas production has already entered decline. Even Norway cannot change that. Maybe it can soften the decline for some time. And at 1 or 2 decades, the domestic production will be much, much lower than today. That's the frame. And that's the first part. The confession why natural gas companies want to enter into the unconventional gas field development is that conventional fields are missing. They have no better choices. And the second one concerns prices. Unconventional gas drilling is much more expensive than conventional gas drilling. Therefore, the companies expect rising prices. Here I have made a comparison as development of price of natural gas prices since over the last 20 years. It's an index, which means in 1990, index is 100. The dark line is the gas price in the United States, and the other thinner lines are from an average for European gas prices and a German import gas price, which are more or less is very close to the European gas price. And you really can see that in the United States, gas prices skyrocketed until 2005 about, and they jumped down around 2008 remember 2008 was also the situation where the economy had a huge crisis, the financial crisis, the oil prices were also at a high, and the economy more or less collapsed for some part, and this of course had some consequence on prices. And the shale gas developments in the United States were performed or extended mostly between 2005, 2008, 2009, at a time when the gas price was very high. This oversupply after the financial crisis or during the financial crisis helped to set the gas price plunge down. But it is not the reason, it is not because unconventional gas drilling is so cheap, it's because of an oversupply and a problem in the economy. That's important. Then here, focus more closely to the European gas price. Here's the import gas price for natural gas in Germany. You see, today it's already at a level that we had seen in 2008, and it stays at about close to 30 euro per megawatt hour. And this figure shows then our gas consumption. It's not production, we already have heard, is already in decline, but also our gas consumption in Europe is declining. In almost each country, the three largest ones are UK, Germany and Italy, and the yellow one in the middle is Spain, which had an increase up to about 2007 and then also started to decline. If you sum them all up in the next slide, we see also the whole consumption in Europe is in decline since 2005. And keep in mind, the last slides, that the gas price is still at a level of we had seen in 2008 with the highest levels. So even when the consumption is declining, our gas prices are still high. And this has, of course, reasons that the domestic gas production is almost more difficult to perform. Now, that's the background for the hopes in shale gas. First, let us sketch a bit about shale gas resources in Europe. Here is an older picture from 2009. The dark area gives the shale gas place or these huge bassins where shale gas accumulations are. If you take the next slide, it's a more detailed one from the resource assessment over Europe. Here's the dark brown areas are source resources which are estimated in size by the US Energy Information Administration, and the yellow areas are also additional possible resources which are not yet quantified. Now, just to give an imagination of the size, this figure shows you the size of conventional gas reserves in individual countries in Europe. It's the reserves which are proven and which are reported in company reports. By far the largest reserves we have in Norway, second one in Netherlands, and the third one in UK. And almost all of them, except Norway, are in decline. This is conventional gas reserves. Now let us add the the conventional gas resources. Resources means it's the same quality of gas, more or less, but it's less well investigated, so the data are very uncertain. It may be, it may not be, we have some hopes that it could be. And it more or less doubles the reserves. And now let's switch over to unconventional gas resources. It's the next figure here. First of all, I want to emphasize that we do not have proven unconventional gas reserves. These are almost zero in Europe, which means at present we do not produce a lot of unconventional gas, almost nothing. And here the bars given in a different differently shaded color. This means that the uncertainty of the resource estimate is very, very uncertain. Let's take, for example, the case of Poland. Here it's an estimate performed by the US Energy Information Administration some months later, or 1 or 2 years later, the Polish government made an own reserve estimate which was in factor of 10 smaller. So I don't want to stress the detailed data, I just want to figure out that the resource estimates are very uncertain. It may be or may not be. Nobody will be responsible if the number is wrong. But that's not the point. The point is how fast can we dig out that gas and in which quantities, as how fast and at which cost. And here let's go to the next slide, but first let us summarize up to now. Natural gas reserves and also production in Europe are small and are in decline. Unconventional gas reserves are almost zero, only resources which are very uncertain. Unconventional gas resources possibly are large. However, the validity of data is very uncertain. We have huge discrepancies in between different estimates, and which means